Have you ever wondered what really happens when someone tries to hurt a person who is chosen by the universe? Not just anyone, but a chosen one. Someone with a pure heart, a strong soul, and a divine mission. You see, some people think they can lie, cheat, and manipulate others without facing any consequences. Especially narcissists, they love to target kind-hearted souls because they think kindness is weakness. But what they don't know is the universe sees everything. And when you mess with a chosen one, you're not just hurting a person, you're messing with a higher plan. And the law of return, it's not slow, it's patient. And when it hits, it's powerful. In today's video, we're diving into what really happens when narcissists attack the chosen ones. And trust me, it's not the ending they expect. If you've ever been mistreated, made to feel small, or question your worth because of someone toxic, this message is for you. You're not alone, and you are not crazy. You're chosen. And today, we're exposing the truth. So, stick with me until the end, because what you're about to hear might give you chills. It might even make you cry, but in the best way. And hey, if you feel this message deep in your heart, show love by liking, commenting your story, and joining our powerful community of chosen ones. Together we rise, we heal, and we glow. Let's begin. Sometimes life feels unfair. A kind person gets mistreated, a pure soul gets ignored, and someone selfish seems to win. This happens a lot, especially when a chosen one is being attacked by a narcissist. A narcissist is someone who is full of pride, thinks only of themselves, and uses others to feel powerful. They pick on people who shine, who love deeply, and who live with purpose. They don't understand that the people they hurt, these chosen ones, are not just regular people. They are protected by something much greater. It may look like the narcissist is winning at first. They lie, they turn others against the chosen one, they cause pain and confusion. The chosen one stays quiet, sometimes even walks away, and to the outside world it looks like they've lost. But here's where the truth begins to rise. There is unseen protection around every chosen one. This protection isn't loud, it doesn't fight back with anger, it moves in silence, with patience. It's like a hidden shield, a strong spiritual force that watches everything. This force keeps track of every word, every action, every pain caused. While the chosen one may cry in secret, the universe is already preparing justice. The narcissist thinks their plan worked. They believe no one saw what they did, but the universe always sees. And when the time is right, everything changes. The chosen one begins to rise, stronger, wiser, more powerful than ever. Their light becomes even brighter. And the narcissist? They start to feel the weight of their own actions. Things go wrong. The same energy they sent out comes back to them, often worse. The chosen one didn't need to fight. Their silence was their strength. Their heart was their shield. And their protection was never gone. It was just waiting for the right time. This is the power of unseen protection. It doesn't rush, it doesn't shout. But when it moves, it changes everything. So remember, when someone pure is being attacked, it may look like they're losing, but behind the scenes, the universe is watching, and it always makes things right. Narcissists always think they're winning in the beginning. They smile when they lie, they feel proud when they fool others, they think they're smart for playing games and making someone else feel small. Especially when they target a chosen one, someone full of light, love, and purpose. They feel like they've won. Look how easy it was, they tell themselves. But what they don't know is that the universe never sleeps. The law of return is watching, quietly. It doesn't rush. It lets the narcissist dig their own hole, thinking they're in control. The chosen one may stay silent, may even cry behind closed doors, but that silence is powerful. The pain they feel is not wasted, it becomes a seed. And when the time is right, that seed grows into justice. The law of return doesn't miss a single detail. It may take time, but when it comes back around, it hits harder than anyone expects. That same smile the narcissist wore in the beginning, it disappears. Slowly, they begin to lose the things they once used to control others. And by the time they realize what's happening, it's already too late. The chosen one doesn't fight with shouting, insults, or drama. When the narcissist tries to break them, they don't argue or try to prove their worth. Instead, they walk away. They go quiet, not because they're weak, but because they're wise. They know that not every battle is worth fighting out loud. In silence, they begin to heal. They reflect. They grow. And that's when something powerful starts to happen. Karma begins her work. While the narcissist is still out there pretending to win, the energy starts to shift. The universe starts to return everything they gave, the lies, the pain, the cruelty, right back to them. Slowly, their fake world begins to crack. Meanwhile, the chosen one starts to glow differently. Their peace becomes their power, their silence becomes their strength, and people begin to notice the truth without a single word being spoken. Because when you are truly chosen, you don't need to fight like the rest. You let the universe speak for you, and it always does, louder than anything else. Narcissists don't attack just anyone. They're drawn to the ones who shine the brightest, the chosen ones. But why? Why would someone so toxic, selfish, and full of pride go after someone kind, humble, and full of love? The truth is, the light of a chosen one exposes what narcissists try so hard to hide. Their lies, their insecurities, their jealousy, their emptiness, it all starts to show when a chosen one walks into the room. That's why they attack. Not because the chosen one is weak, but because they are strong in a way that makes the narcissist feel small. A narcissist lives behind a mask. They pretend to be confident, smart, and even kind, but deep down, they're afraid. Afraid someone will see who they really are. So when they meet a chosen one, someone pure, someone with deep spiritual strength, it triggers something inside them. Suddenly they feel exposed, seen, and they can't handle that. The chosen one doesn't even have to say anything, just their presence, how they speak, how they treat people, how they stay calm in chaos. It makes the narcissist feel like a fraud. So what do? They try to destroy what they don't understand. They start small, little insults, silent treatments, mind games. They want to confuse the chosen one, make them question their own worth. Why? Because the narcissist needs control. They need to be the smartest, the most powerful, the center of everything. And as long as the chosen one stands in their truth, the narcissist can't win. So they try to dim that light, to break the chosen one's spirit, to twist their kindness into weakness and their silence into shame. But here's the thing, the chosen one may bend, but they don't break. They may fall, but they rise again, stronger, wiser, more powerful, because their light doesn't come from the world. It comes from something divine, something eternal. And no matter how hard the narcissist tries, they can't steal what they didn't give. In the end, it's the narcissist who feels the pain, because all the energy they put into hurting others comes back. The lies, the manipulation, the games, they return like a storm. And the chosen one, they keep shining, even brighter than before, because their pain turned into wisdom, their silence became strength, and their light, it became untouchable. So if you've ever wondered why you were targeted, why someone toxic tried to break your spirit, it's because your light was too bright for their darkness. You didn't do anything wrong. You were simply being you. And that was enough to scare them. Hold on to your light. You are chosen, and the world needs what you carry. Narcissists are clever, at least that's what they think. They set traps with smiles on their faces. They lie without blinking, they twist stories, turn people against each other, and create confusion so they can stay in control. Especially when it comes to the chosen ones, they put in extra effort. Why? Because they see something in the chosen that scares them. Truth, purity, light. So they set the stage like it's a game. They push buttons. They act like victims. They want the chosen one to break, to react, to lose their peace. But what they don't see is that every trap they build is actually shaping their own prison. At first, it looks like the narcissist is winning. People may believe their lies. The chosen one might look isolated, confused, even broken, but what the narcissist doesn't understand is that the universe is always watching. Karma is quiet, but it doesn't forget. The same lies the narcissist told, they start to twist back around. The same people they used, they begin to see the truth. The same games they played, they get stuck in them. One by one, the walls close in. While the narcissist is too busy trying to control everything, the chosen one is healing, growing, rising. They're not trying to get revenge. They're not fighting for attention. They're trusting a higher power. And that's the difference. The narcissist uses tricks. The chosen one uses truth. And truth always wins in the end. Soon, the narcissist starts to feel what they once made others feel, confused, alone, exposed. And the best part? It's not even the chosen one doing it. It's their own actions coming back to them. The lies start to fall apart. The fake image begins to crack. And all that control they thought they had? Gone. Because what you do to others, especially to the chosen, always return with interest. The chosen one doesn't need to fight back. They don't need to prove anything. Their silence, their peace, their steady walk forward, it speaks louder than words. And the trap? It closes right where it started, not around the chosen, but around the one who built it. So if you've ever been targeted, lied about, or made to feel crazy, remember this: you weren't weak. You were shining so bright, it revealed what they were trying to hide. You didn't lose. You were being protected. And now, as their games turn into chains, your freedom becomes your reward. Hold your head high, stay true. The trap was never yours, it was theirs all along. The universe doesn't miss a thing. Not one tear, not one heartbreak, not one unfair moment. When a chosen one is attacked, mocked, or used, many people don't see the pain. The chosen one often suffers in silence, with a kind heart and a quiet spirit. But the spiritual realm is not blind. Every tear the chosen cried becomes thunder in the spiritual world. It may not look like justice is coming. It may seem like the narcissist is winning, smiling, and getting away with it, but that's only what the eyes can see. Behind the scenes, the energy is already shifting. The universe is already preparing the return. You see, energy doesn't die, it travels. What someone sends out, they will eventually receive back. And when a narcissist sends pain, cruelty, and manipulation out into the world, especially toward a chosen one, that pain doesn't disappear. It starts moving, and it knows exactly where to return. Every insult, every setup, every lie, it all finds its way back home. The chosen one might cry, break, and wonder, why me? But they don't stay broken. Their pain becomes power. Their cries become prayers. Their wounds turn into wisdom. And all the energy they lost, it comes back, multiplied, in peace, in favor, in strength. Meanwhile, the one who sent the pain begins to feel a shift. Things start going wrong. The same peace they stole from others now escapes them. The same games they played now play against them, because the universe doesn't work on lies, it works on balance, and the scale always evens out. People wonder how the chosen keep rising, how they stay so calm when others try to destroy them. The answer is simple: they trust the process. They don't have to clap back. They don't need revenge. Their tears already spoke louder than any words ever could, and the universe heard them. So if you are a chosen one who's been hurt, left out, or betrayed, hold on. Your tears were not in vain. Your silence was not weakness. It was the signal that activated the spiritual law of return, and that energy is already on its way back. Not to hurt you, but to lift you higher, to protect your heart, to surround you with blessings, while those who sent harm, they will meet everything they gave face to face, because in the end, the energy always reverses, and when it does, the chosen rise and the truth is revealed. Narcissists love the feeling of winning. They thrive on control, manipulation, and the idea that they can bend the world to their will. When they hurt others, especially a chosen one, they often feel like they've scored a victory. Look at me, they might think. I've won again. They smile, they laugh, and they carry on with their game, convinced that no one can touch them. But what they don't realize is that the universe is watching every move. The law of return doesn't forget. When a narcissist tries to destroy a chosen one, it may look like they're winning for a while. They may succeed in making the chosen one feel small, or they may trick others into believing their lies, but victory for the narcissist is always false. It's built on manipulation, deception, and pain. And while they may celebrate now, their celebration is temporary. The moment they think they're untouchable, the universe gets ready to strike. And when the law of return strikes, it strips everything away. Every lie they told, every cruel word they spoke, every bit of control they tried to take, it all starts to unravel. The false victory they once celebrated becomes their downfall. The same energy they sent out comes back to them, but this time it comes with a force they never saw coming. All the things they thought they controlled, all the people they thought they used, the universe begins to remove it piece by piece. The narcissist suddenly finds themselves alone. The friends they manipulated, gone. The success they built on lies, crumbling. The respect they demanded, disappearing. It's not punishment for the chosen one anymore. It's divine justice. The energy they sent out, the harm they caused, the darkness they spread, it all circles back, but this time it's too heavy for them to carry. The narcissist realizes that their so-called victory wasn't really a victory at all. It was just the beginning of their fall. And the harder they try to hold on, the faster they slip. The chosen one, on the other hand, stays grounded. They may have cried, they may have suffered, but they don't need to chase revenge. The universe already has their back. The chosen one's light grows stronger, while the narcissist's darkness begins to swallow them whole. The universe doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. It just waits patiently until the moment of reckoning. And when that moment arrives, it strips away everything that was never real in the first place. So if you've ever watched a narcissist laugh at your pain or seen them celebrate a false victory, remember this: their time will come. The law of return is never late, and when it strikes, it leaves nothing untouched. The light always wins in the end. There's something truly powerful about the chosen ones. While narcissists spend their time chasing control, manipulation, and validation from others, the chosen ones choose a different path. They don't seek revenge. They don't waste their energy plotting against their enemies or trying to make them feel what they felt. The chosen know that true strength doesn't come from tearing others down, it comes from rising above. And that's exactly what they do. The chosen ones don't focus on getting even, they focus on growth. They take every challenge, every obstacle, every painful moment, and they turn it into fuel. Instead of sinking into bitterness or anger, they decide to shine brighter. They rise higher, they turn their pain into purpose, their struggles into strength. Every time they're knocked down, they get back up, stronger, wiser, more determined. And here's the kicker: their growth becomes their revenge. It's not loud, it's not filled with drama or chaos. It's quiet, it's steady, it's their glow up. And that glow is their loudest statement to the world. Narcissists, on the other hand, are constantly fighting for attention. They want control. They need to be seen as powerful. And when they try to take control of a chosen one's life, they don't realize that the chosen one is playing an entirely different game. They don't need to fight for power. They already have it. It's in the way they carry themselves, in their peace, in the way they rise above. While the narcissist is stuck in a cycle of drama, manipulation, and ego, the chosen one is focused on becoming the best version of themselves, and that in itself is the loudest revenge. When a narcissist sees the chosen one rise, they can't help but feel threatened. They thought they had control, that they could destroy what they didn't understand. But the chosen one's success isn't a punishment to the narcissist. It's simply a reflection of what happens when you trust the process of self-growth, healing, and peace. The chosen one doesn't need to get revenge, they just keep shining. And as the chosen grow, as they become more confident and empowered, the narcissist's lies, games, and manipulation begin to fade. people start seeing through their falsehoods, and the power they once held over others starts slipping away. The glow-up is the chosen one's ultimate revenge. It's not in what they say, but in who they become. The narcissist can try to destroy, tear down, and manipulate all they want, but they can never take away the power of a chosen one who is committed to their own growth. So if you're a chosen one, remember this: your glow-up is more powerful than any revenge. Keep focusing on your growth, your peace, and your healing. That's all the world needs to see, and in the end, that will be your greatest victory. Narcissists spend their lives building a world around themselves, filled with lies, manipulation, and control. They hurt others without a second thought, thinking that they're untouchable. They might have friends today, relationships that seem to give them power, and a life that looks perfect from the outside. But what they don't realize is that the universe sees everything, and it doesn't forget. The moment they think they're at the top, that they've won, the sudden fall begins. At first, it's subtle. They may lose a friendship here, a relationship there. But soon, the doors begin to close. The people who once adored them start to see through the facade. The manipulations that once worked so well no longer have the same effect. The narcissist starts to feel the sting of rejection, but they can't figure out why. They try harder, controlling more, lying more, but the harder they push, the further people slip away. They thought they had the world in their hands, but now everything is slipping through their fingers. And it doesn't stop there. Relationships fail. Those they used for validation, for power, for admiration, suddenly those people are gone. The narcissist doesn't understand why they're left standing alone. They never cared about true connection, only what others could do for them. But now, with everyone distancing themselves, they're left with nothing. The people they once hurt, those they manipulated, lied to, and used, are no longer around to feed their ego. The narcissist is standing in the wreckage of their own creation. Then comes the physical toll. Narcissists spend so much energy keeping up their image, pretending to be something they're not, that they forget to care for themselves. They're so focused on controlling others that they ignore their own well-being. Health declines. Their bodies start to break down under the weight of their stress, their lies, and their cruelty. The energy they once put into tearing others down is now being used against them, and they don't know why it's happening. It's as if everything they used to hurt others with, manipulation, power, control, is now being taken away from them piece by piece. The universe works in mysterious ways. When someone spends their life hurting others, the law of balance comes into play. Everything they sent out into the world comes back to them, but it doesn't come as punishment. It comes as a reflection. The narcissist's world crumbles not because they're being punished, but because they've never built anything real. They've only created a false world built on manipulation and deceit. And once that world starts to fall apart, there's nothing left to hold on to. So when you see a narcissist's sudden fall, remember this: it's not the universe being cruel, it's the universe restoring balance. The very things they used to hurt others with are now being taken from them. It's a painful journey, but one that's necessary for the restoration of true peace and harmony. For so long, the narcissist wears a mask. It's carefully crafted, a perfect illusion that hides their true self from the world. Behind that mask is someone who thrives on deception, manipulation, and control. They've learned how to pretend, to be charming, to be charismatic, to be everything that people want them to be. They use this mask to fool others into believing that they are someone special, someone deserving of admiration and respect. And for a time, it works. People fall for it. They buy into the lies. The narcissist gets what they want: attention, praise, and power, but eventually the mask begins to slip. The narcissist can no longer keep up the act. The cracks start to show. The perfect image they've spent years building starts to break down, piece by piece. And as the mask slips further, the narcissist begins to panic. They try to fix the cracks, to put everything back in place, but it's too late. The truth is starting to leak out. Those who once admired them start to see through the facade. The charm no longer works. The manipulation doesn't have the same effect. People begin to notice the inconsistencies, the lies, the self-centeredness that the narcissist tried so hard to hide. The mask that once protected them is now crumbling. And now the narcissist is left with nothing but their true self. Their true face is exposed to the same crowd they once fooled. The audience they once controlled, the people they once manipulated, now see them for who they really are. It's a terrifying moment for the narcissist. The fear of being exposed for the fraud they are is enough to make them lash out, try to regain control, or retreat further into their false persona. But the truth is out now. And no matter how hard they try, they can't put that mask back on. For the first time, the narcissist is vulnerable. They can't hide behind their charm or their lies. The truth is staring them in the face, and the people around them see it clearly. They no longer have the power they once held. Their manipulation no longer works. The same people they once fooled are now seeing through them, and they can't do anything about it. The narcissist's worst nightmare is that they will be exposed for what they truly are. And when it happens, it's devastating. The world they built on lies and manipulation begins to crumble. The mask is gone, and they can no longer pretend. They can't go back to the way things were. They've lost the very thing they cherished most: control. The universe has a way of bringing the truth to light, and for the narcissist, that truth is often a painful revelation. The mask may have served them for a while, but now they must face the consequences of the lies they've lived. There comes a time when the narcissist realizes the truth, but by then, it's too late. For years, they've used others, manipulated situations, and hurt people with their words and actions, all the while thinking they were untouchable. They believed they could get away with it, believed that the lies they told, the pain they caused, could be buried or ignored. But the universe doesn't forget. The law of energy doesn't forget. And soon, the consequences begin to unfold. The narcissist's world starts to crumble. The relationships they once controlled begin to slip away. The people they took advantage of no longer stand by them. The mask they've worn so long starts to slip, and the truth of their actions is exposed. And that's when the regret starts to set in. At first, it's subtle. They don't understand why everything is falling apart. They try harder, pushing their old tactics, but nothing works. Then the realization hits them. They begin to see the damage they've caused. They start to understand the consequences of their manipulation, the hurt they've inflicted on others, but it's too late. The energy they sent out, the hurt they caused, has already returned to them. The universe has already done its work. Now they want forgiveness. They want a chance to make things right. They regret their actions, regret the way they treated others. They understand the pain they caused, the lives they disrupted. But by the time they recognize the damage, the people they've hurt have already moved on. The energy they sent out into the world has already returned to them, and it's no longer in their hands to control. The time for redemption has passed. Forgiveness may come in the future, but not in the way they expect. The people they wronged have found their peace, their strength, and they no longer need to offer forgiveness to someone who doesn't understand the value of their words. The narcissist, desperate for forgiveness, will see it slip away just as their manipulations did. The energy has already returned. Regret only comes when it's too late, when the consequences of their actions have already taken root. The things they took for granted, the lives they shattered, the love they trampled on, these things can't be fixed with empty apologies. By the time the narcissist feels remorse, the damage is done. The universe doesn't offer second chances for those who repeatedly abused the first, and so the narcissist is left with nothing but the weight of their regret, knowing that they had the chance to change but waited too long. In a world that often feels chaotic, it can be easy to believe that things happen by chance, that actions don't always have consequences, or that life is just a series of random events. But the truth is far different. The universe is not random. Every action, every word, every thought carries an energy that reverberates through the cosmos. And when that energy is sent out, whether positive or negative, it always comes back. The only difference is that the energy returned to you is not always equal to what was sent out. It's multiplied. When someone harms another person, especially someone who is pure, kind, or chosen for something greater, those actions are not left unnoticed. The universe sees everything. It feels the pain, the injustice, the cruelty, and it works in a way that is both gentle and powerful. It doesn't strike back with force. Instead, it sends the energy back to where it came from, multiplied. For the one who chooses to harm the chosen, the consequences may not be immediate, but they are inevitable. What they've sent out into the world is going to return to them in a way they cannot predict, and it will always come back stronger. The chosen, those individuals who walk with light, who are destined for greatness, are often targeted by those who fear their power or are threatened by their purity. Narcissists, manipulators, and those who thrive on darkness will try to tear them down, to dim their light, to break their spirit. But the universe, in its wisdom, knows better. The more they try to destroy, the more it multiplies in the chosen one's favor. Think of it like planting a seed. When someone sends negativity, hatred, or lies toward the chosen, it's like planting a seed of darkness. But what they fail to understand is that the universe doesn't just return that seed as it was. It waters it, nourishes it, and lets it grow into something greater. And what grows is not darkness, it's strength, resilience, and light. The chosen become more powerful the harder they are attacked. The more they try to break the chosen, the more the universe blesses them with growth, wisdom, and opportunities. For the ones who harm, the law of energetic justice works the same way. The hurt they cause to the chosen will return to them, not as the same form of pain, but multiplied into something far greater. Their life may begin to unravel in ways they can't control, relationships falling apart, trust being lost, their lies being exposed, their power fading away. Every seed of destruction they planted for the chosen will come back tenfold, and they will be left standing in the ruins of their own making. The universe isn't random. It's a perfectly orchestrated system of energy, balance, and justice. When you choose to harm, you choose to receive. And for those who choose to harm the chosen, that return will always be greater than they ever imagined. For the narcissist, life is a game where they are the only player and everyone else is simply a pawn. They thrive on control, manipulation, and the belief that they are invincible. They don't believe in consequences because for so long they've managed to escape them. They've hurt people, used others, and lied without ever feeling the weight of their actions. They live in a world where they are the center of everything, where their desires and needs are the only things that matter. They believe they can get away with anything, and for a while, they do. They are spiritually blind to the impact they have on others. But the universe doesn't forget. Karma doesn't forget. The energy you send out into the world always comes back, maybe not right away, but it always returns. For the narcissist, this truth is something they can't comprehend. They've spent their lives avoiding the consequences of their behavior, convinced that they are untouchable. But the moment they wrong someone who is connected to a higher purpose, someone with a deep spiritual energy, things start to change. The chosen are like a mirror to the narcissist. Their light exposes the darkness the narcissist tries to hide. And while the narcissist may try to diminish that light, the universe has a way of turning the tables. What they once did in the shadows begins to catch up with them. The pain they caused others will eventually find its way back to them, but this time, the pain isn't something they can manipulate or escape. It's personal. The moment the narcissist feels the weight of their own actions, that's when the spiritual blindness starts to fade. It's when the universe begins to show them the truth they've ignored for so long. The same way they once caused others to suffer, now they are the ones in the center of the storm. The pain they inflicted on others is now their own to carry. And in that moment, when they realize the consequences of their actions, they cry, "Why me?" as if they were the innocent one in the situation. But it's already too late. The universe doesn't respond to their cries for mercy. It's not out of cruelty, it's simply the way of balance. The narcissist had their chance to change, to grow, to feel empathy, but instead They chose to remain blind, ignoring the spiritual consequences of their actions. Now the pain they inflicted comes back to them, and it's too late for apologies. The veil is lifted, but only when it's too painful to ignore. They don't realize that spiritual blindness was their own doing. They chose to remain numb, to never face the harm they caused. And now, when the pain is too real to deny, they'll finally see. But it's not the clarity they wanted. It's the hard truth of their own consequences. And in that moment, the universe's justice is complete. For some, lies are like currency. They think they can use them without consequence, like tools that bend reality to fit their needs. They believe lies are harmless, just words with no weight, no consequence. But the truth is, every false word spoken builds a spiritual debt, a debt that the universe will one day demand be paid. The law of return never forgets, and it doesn't miss a single lie. Lies may seem like small, harmless things at first. A little exaggeration here, a half-truth there. A lie to protect an image, to avoid confrontation, or to manipulate someone into doing what you want. But over time, each lie adds up, stacking layer upon layer, building a debt that grows with every falsehood. The more lies you tell, the greater the debt becomes. And just like any other debt, it must eventually be collected. The universe doesn't let anyone escape unscathed. What the liar doesn't realize is that each untruth they tell creates a ripple effect. Small, almost invisible at first, but it affects the energy around them. These lies create dissonance, a disturbance in the spiritual balance. The universe is built on truth, on authenticity. When lies are thrown into the mix, they disrupt that balance. They distort reality and create confusion, mistrust, and pain. The liar, in their selfish pursuit of power or control, may believe they are in the clear. They may feel untouchable, thinking that no one will catch them, that the truth will never come out. But the law of return works in the background, silently accumulating what's owed. Eventually, the lies start to catch up. The truth begins to emerge, no matter how carefully hidden. The lies that were once believed now unravel, and the liar finds themselves trapped in the web they've created. Relationships are broken, trust is shattered, and the liar is left standing in the rubble, wondering how it all went wrong. That's when the law of return steps in to collect. What they don't see coming is the spiritual cost of their lies. It's not just the damage to their relationships, the lost opportunities, or the shattered image. It's the internal toll, the heaviness that starts to weigh on their soul. Lies have a way of eating away at a person from the inside. They create an internal dissonance, a sense of unease, a fear that the truth will eventually come to light. The guilt of knowing that the debt is still there, piling up, waiting to be collected, becomes an ever-present burden. The universe doesn't let lies slide. Every lie must be paid back, and it will be returned in ways the liar never expects. Whether it's in the form of broken trust, lost relationships, or inner turmoil, the debt will always be collected. The truth always rises to the surface, and the liar will have to face the consequences of their actions. The law of return collects, and no one escapes its reach. The chosen one's journey is not just about personal growth or achievements. It's about transformation on a deep, spiritual level. As they rise, they become a beacon of light, a living example of perseverance, faith, and divine favor. Their elevation doesn't just bring them closer to their purpose, it also casts a shadow. And within that shadow, the truth begins to emerge. In the beginning, those around the chosen one may smile, nod, and offer words of encouragement. They cheer them on, pretending to support their success, all the while hiding their true feelings. But as the chosen one starts to rise, the masks begin to slip. The success that once seemed like a distant dream now becomes a reality, and suddenly the energy shifts. The very light that shines on the chosen exposes the darkness in others. It's in the moment of success that the true faces of the enemy are revealed. Those who once pretended to cheer now begin to frown. The smiles turn into gritted teeth. The clapping hands slowly fade into silent whispers. Those who had secretly hoped for the chosen one to fail are suddenly exposed. They can no longer hide behind the facade of friendship or camaraderie. Their envy, their jealousy, their bitterness, everything they tried to keep buried begins to surface. This is where the chosen one's elevation serves as a mirror, reflecting not just their own growth but also the true nature of those around them. For every person who genuinely rejoices in their success, there will be another who resents it, wishing to tear them down. The enemy is often not someone outside the circle, but someone within it, someone who has been watching, waiting for the chosen one to falter, to fail, so they can say, "I told you so." At first, the enemy's motives may be hard to detect. They wear the mask of support, pretending to be happy for the chosen one, all the while plotting their downfall in silence. But as the chosen one continues to rise, the enemy's true intentions become clearer. The snide comments start to slip out. The backhanded compliments feel more frequent, and the supportive words feel increasingly hollow. The more the chosen one achieves, the more the enemy's true nature is exposed. For the chosen, this exposure isn't always easy to see. It's painful when the people they trusted, people they thought were on their side, turn out to be their secret enemies. But this is an essential part of the journey. The chosen one must learn that not everyone who is near them is for them. Not everyone who smiles is genuinely happy for their success. Some people simply cannot handle the light that shines so brightly because it forces them to confront their own darkness, their own inadequacies, and their own failures. There's a universal truth that many fail to realize until it's too late. Not all people are the same. Some are ordinary, living in the flow of life, experiencing the ups and downs like everyone else. But then there are the chosen ones, the individuals who stand out, not by their appearance or their wealth, but by their purpose, their divine calling, and the energy they carry. These are people who have been anointed by a higher power, destined for greatness, with an unwavering strength that is invisible to the naked eye. And there's one rule that you must understand clearly. You never touch the anointed. It's easy to think that everyone is fair game, that anyone can be manipulated, hurt, or used for personal gain. But there is a clear distinction between the ordinary and the extraordinary. The chosen ones are not like the rest. They aren't just people. They are vessels of something greater than themselves. They are chosen to fulfill a purpose that transcends their own existence. And because of that, there are consequences, severe consequences, for anyone who tries to bring harm to them. When you try to harm the chosen, whether physically, emotionally, or spiritually, you are not just attacking a person, you are attacking their divine purpose, their mission, and the very energy that flows through them. You are challenging something greater than you can ever comprehend. And that is where the law of the universe comes into play, the law that dictates that there are certain people whose energy cannot be disturbed without significant repercussions. The chosen ones are protected by something far beyond the reach of ordinary human influence. Think about it. In the world of ordinary people, when someone is wronged, they may experience temporary pain, but in time, they can heal, move on, and carry on with their life.